He was supposed to be the future, the man who went invincible, the manager who made an entire league bend to his system. But 6 months into the biggest job in world football, Xabi Alonso is standing on the touchline, watching a team he can't control, a squad he can't shape, and a dressing room that refuses to be coached, and while the media blames him. What if the truth is darker? What if the system didn't collapse? What if the players broke it?
Es máxima y hay que aceptar el reto, pero es un reto muy bonito, ¿no? Y creo que podemos hacer cosas.
If you want to really understand how a genius coach can be trapped by a superstar squad, hit like and subscribe. Because the first chapter of this story takes us straight to his past, to Leverkusen, where Xabi's vision was pure, fast, unstoppable. Chapter 1. The Leverkusen Ghost. 6 months after taking over his old club, life at Real Madrid hasn't exactly been sunshine for Xabi Alonso. The results aren't disastrous, but the performances feel heavy, flat, almost confused. And the players? They look like they're 2 bad weeks away from a full revolt. But before you can understand why it's not working at Madrid, you need to understand what it even is. The whole blueprint comes from Leverkusen. At Leverkusen, football was simple. No egos, no drama, just the machine. Everyone had a job. Everyone pressed together. Everyone held the shape. It was calm, it was controlled, it was collective. The ball moved fast. The structure never broke. It was football played by one mind, not 11 separate ones. That is the Leverkusen ghost, the perfect version of Xabi's football that followed him to Madrid. But Madrid is different. Madrid lives on instinct, on chaos, on players who don't wait for instructions. Vinicius wants the left channel. Mbappe wants the same left channel. Bellingham loves arriving in that exact half space. It's a traffic jam of world-class talent. At Leverkusen, he had soldiers. At Madrid, he has generals. Everyone wants to lead. Nobody wants to follow. And the ghost of that perfect system he built before is the biggest reminder of why this one is breaking now. But the system isn't the only thing haunting him, because behind closed doors in Madrid, something darker is forming. A group of players who aren't just ignoring Xabi Alonso, but openly pushing back against him. And that is where the real story begins. Chapter 2. The Anti-Alonso Clique. Being Real Madrid's manager is a different sport entirely. You're not just coaching, you're babysitting egos the size of Bernabéu screens. And trust me, ego is its own formation at this club. Ask any former Madrid manager and watch them start sweating immediately. Xabi knew what he was signing up for. He lived in that dressing room once. He saw how Ronaldo reacted when he wasn't happy. He saw Benzema's silent protests. He saw managers like Benitez and Mourinho crumble like cheap biscuits. But knowing it as a player is one thing. Living it as the guy in charge is another. And now, he's the one on the receiving end. Madrid's Avengers line up. But instead of saving the world, they're arguing about screen time. By late November and early December 2025, the tension didn't stay inside the dressing room. It walked out, got on TV, bought popcorn, and started trending. 3 straight draws, 1 win in 5. Barcelona floating 4 points clear like they're teasing. Madrid weren't collapsing. They were quietly falling apart at the seams. And then Vinicius, of course. Because with Madrid, the drama has to be cinematic. Alonso subbed him off in the 72nd minute of El Clasico. It was a game Madrid were leading by 2-1. Vinny was having the perfect game, but when that substitution board showed his number asking him to exit the game, man walked straight down the tunnel like The Rock leaving a WWE ring after someone ruined his promo. He apologized later in a letter he posted online, but Alonso's name? Missing. Completely. And remember, this wasn't the first time Alonso benched him. People inside Madrid started whispering that the relationship had taken a hit. A big one. But Vinicius wasn't alone in the irritation club. According to reports, other players complained about a new travel schedule. Said it cut into family time. Small issue, right? But at Madrid, small issues become thunder. Apparently the dressing room have split in 2. One side believing in Xabi's collective approach, the other side rolling their eyes like, bro, we are the tactics. And honestly, knowing Madrid's history, are we even shocked? Inside the club, one insider dropped the real bomb. Some of these stars weren't incompatible with each other. They were incompatible with the system itself. It showed in games like the one against Liverpool in the early phase of the 2025-2026 UCL. Xabi wanted the game to flow through the left, controlled, structured, disciplined. But the players? They played like they were making TikToks. Everything went left, slow, predictable. Liverpool defended it like it was a training drill. Mbappe invisible. Vinicius boxed in. Midfield gone missing like a Netflix character written out between seasons. It wasn't a team. It was 11 guys freelancing. And you know what's crazy? Watching all this unfold, you start wondering something. Something Madrid fans don't really like to hear. Maybe Xabi Alonso isn't the one dragging this team down. Maybe the real problem is sitting right there in the squad he inherited. The tactical suicide. The evidence. To truly understand why Xabi is aging in dog years, we have to look at the heat maps. Because numbers don't lie, but they do scream. In Leverkusen, Xabi used two number 10s tucked inside. Wirtz and Hoffmann. They stayed close to the middle. This created space on the wings for the wingbacks, Grimaldo and Frimpong, to fly forward like jets. It was a grid, perfect spacing. Now look at Madrid. This isn't a formation, it's a car crash. Mbappe naturally drifts left. Vinicius lives on the left. Rodrigo creates from the left. Xabi is trying to play a system that relies on width, but his three best players are all standing on each other's toes in the same 10-meter box. Look at the right side of the pitch. You could land a Boeing 747 there. There is nobody. So the opposition defense just shifts over. They pack the left side, suffocate Vinny, isolate Mbappe, and suddenly, the best attack in the world looks toothless. Xabi is screaming for them to spread out, to recycle the ball, but instinct takes over. They want to dribble. They want the highlight reel. And that is the tactical suicide. You cannot play Xabi ball when nobody wants to pass the ball. Chapter 3. The verdict. Let me start with a real question. Are we actually sure Xabi Alonso is the problem? But when you zoom out, even just a little, you start to see something different, something messier, something very Real Madrid. And Madrid fans, please don't start throwing your phones. I'm talking to you gently. You people treat ego like it's part of the club's founding DNA. The Bernabéu isn't just a stadium. It's a whole pressure cooker. Pride, politics, whispers, leaks. Half the time it feels like a reality show with a Champions League budget. Keeping up with Los Galacticos basically writes eyes. Self. So imagine Xabi entering that dressing room. He didn't walk into a football team. He walked into a group chat full of tiny civil wars. Players with old habits. Blockbuster cast list with no coherent storyline. Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius. 3 megastars, 3 different gravitational pulls, 3 different ways they want the team built around them. And people expect Xabi to synchronize all of them like he's writing music for Renaissance? And all of this comes back to Florentino Perez. His Galactico model has always been the same. Get the biggest name, the brightest spotlight, the best marketing numbers. Build a squad like a movie poster, beautiful faces, intense vibes, random explosions in the background. But ask anyone who's ever made a great movie, casting stars doesn't mean the film will make sense. Now Xabi is trying to play positional play with players who don't naturally fit it while navigating egos the size of office buildings. No manager can fix that in 2 months. No manager can fix that in a year if the structure stays the same. So here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Real Madrid has a choice. They can fire the best young manager in the world, or they can finally fix the squad that's breaking him. And that's the story for now. Madrid are wobbling. The squad is unbalanced, the pressure is insane, and yet Alonso is still trying to build something real in the middle of the storm. But be real with me. Do you think he can pull this off, or is he one bad result away from disaster? I want to hear your take, and before you go, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive.